Happy Monday! Today's episode is a solo episode. I know we don't do this very often, but I think I might bring it back on, maybe once a month. I was thinking about it, and there's some things I just want to talk about, maybe with you, and not getting someone else's opinion on them. I thought that might be fun too. Today, I was thinking about procrastination. I am a master procrastinator. Does anybody relate to that? Sometimes it looks very productive, but it's not really doing anything that is working towards where I want to be. So sometimes I think about it and I go, okay, what do I need to get done today? And the list always stays at kind of those basic tasks, right? Like, I need to run this errand, or I need to get my medicine, or I really should meal prep. And while those are all great things and necessary things, they're kind of just the base of kind of this whole pyramid of life, right? And I feel like I put them in, or I give them a higher importance so that I don't have to climb up to that next step, which is kind of doing the things that I want to do to move myself forward. So I, like you, have goals. There's places I want to be, and there's a way that I want my life to look. And in order for that to happen, I know that there's work that needs to be done. And this is what I've been struggling with. I've been struggling with, oh, it's okay, you can take a break right now, you've been doing other things. Or I've just been struggling with figuring out kind of how I work the best. What's the best way to kind of get away from procrastinating and harness that kind of motivation of movement? I have realized, and I know this, I think really from coming out of COVID more than anything, that, something in motion stays in motion. So I was listening to actually our book that we're going to be talking about here soon, 100 Ways to Make Your Life Better, I believe, by Liz Moody. I was listening to that, and one of the things that she was talking about was this, and how sometimes when you feel like what you need to take on is so like monumental that you almost shut yourself down. So sometimes it's just better to say, just get up and do something, right? So for me, that can be thinking, oh, I'll just clean up the kitchen, or I'll just make my salads for the week, or I'll just take the dogs for a walk around this loop that we have in our yard. It's just a short thing. And then I'm hoping that by the time I've gotten done with that movement, I'll be moving on to the next thing. But oftentimes, that does work for me, but then I still put in more like task that I can check off instead of like the real things that I want to work on. And for me, that means like really thinking about what career speaking looks like, what I want to write about, really working on this podcast and making it bigger and better and more for you all. And not just people with cancer, but women who just want to grow and live and I don't even want to see their best selves, because I just want women to believe that they can achieve whatever they want to achieve and to stop selling themselves short. So when I start thinking about that stuff, it motivates, it gets me excited, but it also sort of scares me, I think. And it's like I'm so used to a certain way of life that I feel like I sabotage myself, and I put kind of I make mountains out of molehills, and I, all of those kind of, there's so many metaphors for that, but it really just comes down to, I think I'm scared. I think I'm scared to really put myself out there and talk about the things that I care about. I think we're just so programmed to be happy with what we have. And as women, especially, we should just be grateful. And I feel like, I'm having lived with with cancer for 25 years. Shouldn't I just be satisfied? And while I am, I'm not even close to being done with what I want to do. There's so much more that I want to do. But then it comes back to me just feeling like, wait, I don't know how to move forward sometimes. So I have been thinking about all these things about like, how do I work best? And I would love to hear from you guys. Like, do you have things that you do that help you work better? And I will say, I know that I'm not a super traditional person in that I don't do great routines. I don't love doing routines. I'm more of a project kind of person. So I think I actually might be better off in some ways to kind of block off part of my week to really work on the goals that I want to accomplish in terms of writing and speaking, and then allow myself to be off for the rest of the time. And by off, I mean just doing my regular life, right? Like working and relaxing and all of those other things. But I think maybe for me, it is kind of chunking. Then I don't have to go through that momentum stuff as often, right? I don't have to try to get myself going, and I also don't have to be mad at myself for not doing things, right? So I don't know. This is what I'm thinking about right now. Do you guys have goals? What are you working on right now? What are your plans? The things in your head. Have you ever just thought about what you really would love your life to be? And for me, I have thought about that so much, and I've realized that it doesn't necessarily fit into other people's picture of what my life should be. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think sometimes the whole idea of selling yourself short has really been a prominent thought in my head lately. So, I don't know, you guys. I just wanted to jump on here and talk to you about moving forward and how hard it can be. And sometimes I just go, you know what? It's the best you can do, and that's okay. But other times I go, oh, don't let this fear of what comes next, or this fear. I'm not even scared of what comes next. I think I'm scared of putting myself out there. I think I'm scared of failure. But I don't know. I'm more scared of not having tried. So I'm wishing you guys the best, and I hope that you are dreaming about a future. And I know if you have cancer, you sometimes think that that's too big, but it's okay. It's okay to dream. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next time.